So we're exploring among the golden giants. We're in Mali, specifically in West Mali, and we've had a very successful 12 months since our last attendance at this conference. I think our share price has gone from about 12 cents to 50 cents over the 12 months, really through discovery. We're really getting some fantastic results on the ground, which I'll show you as we move through. A lot of our work has been concentrated on one project in particular, Dandoko, where we've completed about just over 74,000 metres of auger drilling about a year and a half ago. And what we found from the auger drilling is we delineated a very strong 12-kilometre long gold trend with numerous targets within that trend. And one of those targets we call Seiko, which is the only target we've drilled to date. And you can see some good numbers up there. These are all very shallow. Most of those are from surface results. Good economics for open cut mining, wide zones, good grades, and we really think we're on top of a potential large system where we are. We're fully financed at the moment. We've got just under $11 million in the bank. We're currently about halfway through a $3.5 million drilling program, which will take us through till towards the end of this month, early March, before we gear up for our phase 2 program. And the program's led by a very, very experienced management team. Madani Diallo, who's here, who's on our board and has a prolific record of gold discoveries in not only West Mali but also in Africa. And Andrew Boyd, who's running our exploration, who was formerly general manager for Papillon and took the Papillon discovery through from its early days through to the merger with B2 Gold and is now in production, and they're pouring gold, which is a great success story. Shareholders, we've got a great register. BlackRock currently own just over 15% of the company. 1832 are just under 10%. Our top 20 shareholders hold about just over 70% of the stock. You can see a two-year performance there on our share price from a low of 6 cents about 2 years ago, and I think we're currently trading at about 43 cents at the moment. All of this has been driven through putting money into the ground and getting discoveries through the drill bit, and particularly on the Dandoko area. As I said, we're fully funded at this stage, and looking forward to getting more results out to the market over the next 6 months. Our prime project, as I said, is Dandoko. It's located there. You can see amongst some of the big giants, as we call them, the Randgold deposits of Lulu and Ngongoko to the northwest, and the B2 Gold Fekola project, which is about 30 kilometres to the west of us, near the Senegal-Mali shear. Dandoko was very underexplored when we got involved about 3 years ago. I think it had about 3,000 or 5,000 metres of drilling max had been done on the project, and we really took a step back and treated the project as a whole, and we came in and drilled, as I said, about over 70,000 metres of auger on sort of 400 by 100 metre line spacing to look at the whole project as a whole. You probably can't see the white dots there, but all the white dots there are the auger holes, and this image you're looking at is a heat map of gold max in hole. And what's very obvious is on the Dandoko area is a northeast trending gold corridor that extends for over 12 kilometres, with a series of anomalies along that corridor that we would need to drill test. Prior to the wet season in 2017 in June, we started drilling on the Seiko gold trends in March, and straight away we had some discoveries in Seiko that have kept us drilling on that area, and we as to date haven't had time to drill any of the other anomalies there. They will be drilled shortly in the next 6 months with some air core drilling, and we're really looking forward to drilling some of those other zones and really proving this up as a district scale new discovery in West Mali. So if we look at Seiko itself, this is an old image of the auger anomaly. The red dots is really what you need to concentrate on there. 0.15 of a gram in the shallow auger, and when I say auger, we're just getting below the saprolite, the soils into the top of bedrock. Up to 2 kilometres in one of those trends. It's a totally blind discovery. There's no outcrop. It's sort of this typical soil, sort of lateritic terrain, quite flat, nothing to see on surface. And the only hint of gold is some very small artisanal workings. You can see where that circle is and where they were panning gold out of the laterite. So we came into Seiko in March in 2017. We drilled over 16,000 metres of air core to refusal. So we basically drill fence lines to refusal. There's a deep weathering profile here up to 100 metres in places, and straight away we got some good mineralisation in those early holes. Good grades and good widths for open cut mining, a lot of them from surface. We then, if you look at a result from the 2017 results, this is a grams metres thickness map, just starting to give you an idea of some of the hot spots within those trends that we're now following up on. If you put these trends end on end, there's about 7 kilometres strike to test here, so it's a big zone. It's got a big footprint to host a major deposit, and more importantly, from our very limited RC and diamond drilling that we're now doing into the fresh rock and into the primary zone, we're starting to see some really good alteration patterns. There's no veining here. It's typically more a big alteration zone that is hosting the gold. And also downhole, the gold's quite consistent. We don't have big 50 or 60 gram hits that are holding the whole zones together. It's pretty consistent downhole. And if you have a look at all our public releases, we do put in our releases all the 1 metre hits, so you can get a handle on how the mineralisation looks downhole. So we kicked off 2018 drilling program in September after the wet. We're currently about $2 million through our $3.5 million program. We've completed over 12,000 metres of air core. We're now well into an RC program of about 4,000 metres, and we actually kicked off diamond drilling there last week, and we're heading up to site at the end of the week to have a look at the first diamond holes, which will be good to have a look at the material in fresh rock. As I said, there's a deep weathering profile, and a lot of the air core here, although we're getting gold, there's not much to see. So trying to piece together the geometry is now the key to proving up the resource here. But we've had our best results to date from the 2018 program. 42 metres there at 6 grams from surface, 30 metres at 4 grams, and then you can see some of the RC results there from the first holes, and they're the first holes that are now getting into the primary zone. So we've 59 metres at over 2 grams, from 91 metres, and we announced this morning another primary hit on the western side there on SK3, where we've hit a zone that includes 11 metres at 4 grams in the fresh rock. So there's some good numbers there. This is a summary of where we are to date on our grams thickness. You can see the trends developing. The key now is to get in there and start drilling this out for a resource. What does it look like? It's typical West Africa, or you could be looking at Western Australia here. Fairly flat, easy access, easy to drill. There's no mountains or rivers or anything to deal with. Just some cross sections through each of the anomalies. This is the one on the eastern side. It's a big zone of oxide. It's about 200 metres across, but very amenable for open cut mining. The middle zone, where we're now getting into the fresh rock, you can see there's a 70 metre hole there that ends in grade in the middle there, and this is where we've just put the diamond holes into. We're now diamond drilling on this zone, and if we step 40 metres across to the western anomaly, this is where we've just announced today the next hit into the primary zone below the oxide mineralisation. So we've got a lot of drilling to do. It's a very big zone, and as I said, we're about $2 million through on our current program, which is $3.5 million. Good location. We're just off the main road from Bamako out to to the project there. And that's about it. We've got some great results, good team. The key now is to outline a resource, and we're looking forward to putting some more news out to the market over the next 6 months. Thank you.